Welcome to New Strength. I'm Christina Cook-Lee. New Strength is a daily devotional offering hope and encouragement to people who are trying to get and stay free from depression and or dependency. I would encourage you to read along with me. If you're viewing directly on YouTube, check the description area below the screen for instructions on how you can. Thanks for joining me. Our topic is honesty. The focus, honesty versus foolishness, based on the book of Proverbs. The scripture, Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15 from the New King James Version of the Bible. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. The opposite of being honest is being a fool. The fool trusts in his own mind and abilities. He thinks people believe whatever he says. Fools are not good listeners. They are only interested in hearing the sound of their own voice. The fool has no restraint when he is challenged. Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool. He thinks anyone who seeks wisdom and understanding is stupid. Fools say there is no God, but not all fools are atheists. When he does wrong, a fool thinks he will get away with it and never be found out. The fool is always dreaming up crazy, dishonest schemes. A fool takes many more words to say what could have been said in just a few. A fool doesn't trust anyone but himself. He thinks he is the only one who knows anything. He keeps repeating the same mistakes over and over and always thinks he is in control. A fool never seeks counsel because he doesn't think anyone else knows more than he does. A fool is arrogant and thinks he can always figure things out by himself. A fool doesn't truly know how to be humble. The only time he will try to appear humble is when he is attempting to trick someone into thinking he is weak so that he can take advantage of them. A fool doesn't think he has to plan for the future. He only lives for today. Having to wait for anything is greatly annoying to a fool. He thinks the world and everything in it should revolve around him. A fool never forgets a wrong done against him. He will spend endless amounts of time trying to get even with people who may have caused him injury. A fool surrounds himself with people who know less than he does because he is intimidated by wisdom. A fool is always running after riches and thinking he will get prosperity without having to work for it. He spends much of his time following after people who have a history of scamming and taking advantage of others. Fools refuse to acknowledge any wrong they have done. They always have an excuse. A fool never thinks he needs to apologize because he is convinced that any failure in his life is someone else's fault. A fool only looks out for his own welfare and always puts his needs before anyone else's. He lives his life constantly shifting responsibility to others. He likes the best of everything and thinks he deserves luxury. A fool is full of himself. He is only interested in conversations that are about him. He has little or no interest in what others have to say and is continually thinking of what he will say next when someone else is talking. A fool is impatient and can hardly wait to express his opinion. He hardly ever lets someone finish what they are saying, but will find any possible opportunity to interrupt and take control of the conversation. A fool believes he can push the limits and break the rules. He thinks the law doesn't apply to him. If a fool is questioned about his morals or honesty, he will usually crack a joke. He is the one who laughs the loudest. A fool lives in a world of fantasy. He believes in himself and in the make-believe world he has created for himself. He is reckless and always feels justified in doing whatever it takes to get what he wants. A fool thinks he will win at everything. He imagines people are saying good things about him. He is always thinking he will be promoted and receive honor for his amazing ideas. He never agrees to do anything that is hard for him. He looks for the easy way out and quickly bows out of any situation where true effort is required. A fool doesn't know that others see who he really is. He thinks he is convincing and clever at everything. He sees himself as a genius, and he thinks everyone else should think he's a genius too. He is always trying to take credit for other people's ideas. A fool's enemy is someone who is wise to his ways. He will quickly slander anyone who he senses is onto him. A fool has very few true friends, and usually dies lonely. Declaration: I will find new strength by seeking after wisdom, counsel, and the knowledge of God. Thanks for taking the time to listen. I would really appreciate it if you would like this segment. And if you wouldn't mind, please share it with someone else who might also benefit from it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the New Strength Devotional channel on YouTube or on WordPress, and then a link will come to you every day in your email with a segment like this. And if you're already a subscriber, I'll look forward to meeting with you again tomorrow. My prayer is that you will find new strength day by day and endless blessings. I'm Christina Cook-Lee.